And what we're talking about today is all about how to break bottlenecks in an AI first business. And of course, I have a funny suspicion we're going to be talking about how to use AI to do that. So, Mr. Sauer, as is our tradition, what are you thinking about when you're talking about bottlenecks and kind of the AI first business? How do we define those?
Yeah, the first thought is, isn't AI supposed to be the thing that gets rid of the bottlenecks? So how can you still have bottlenecks when you're an AI first business? Yet I know that exists, and I know that happens all the time, and I still can be a bottleneck even though I am AI first. And so I think that it really comes around to, what are the limiting beliefs around that? How is your organization structured? And then how are you actually making this happen in a way that makes you AI first? So I'm really happy and excited to unpack this, because I'm definitely the guy who still creates bottlenecks, not as many. I've definitely done an AI first business, but it is sometimes a challenge to get past that and to make that happen. Maybe it's because of the state of technology and we're right now. Maybe it's the wrong techniques, but I love my systems guy, Mercer, to help me unpack some of this stuff too. Maybe we'll get some breakthroughs even more as we talk about our own problems and then help you solve your problems too.
I love that. Yeah, I think for me, it comes down to what we talk about a lot in Profit School, which is when you're managing your team members, when you're managing yourself, we use that CNC rule, right? And the rule of that CNC rule basically says there's two main things we can focus on. One is our capability, right? For ourselves, our company, our team, whatever the capability is that you're focusing on at whatever level. And then you've got capacity, how much time we have to do the things that we have the capability to do. So capability and capacity, and that CNC rule is sort of the idea. And that's, I think, going back to the idea of like, how do you identify bottlenecks? It's in one of those two areas. It's going to be either we don't have the capability, right, or I don't, or they don't, right, type of thing. If it's a team member, or yourself as an owner, and then there's the capacity. I don't have the time to do this, or they don't have they could do it, but they don't have the time because they're focusing on other priorities, And so Ned, that's, I think, how you could maybe identify some of the bottlenecks, or at least that's the idea, right? Between that, kind of looking at capability and capacity. And the beauty of AI is that it can dramatically affect both. And it's getting, like, every freaking hour, it gets better and better at that, at helping, like, oh, now I have more capability and now it can help us do stuff. Like right now, we can't necessarily talk. I mean, that's not true. Right now, you could talk to it and get a web page built, but it would be a little clunky and not quite perfect, and definitely wouldn't be like something you could like fire and forget and be done with. But in a couple of years, that's I think a no-brainer. That's exactly what's going to happen, right? Again, if web pages are even a thing in a couple of years. But it's like, but that the power it's using the power of AI. And this is where the AI first business comes in. Remember, Profit School, it's all about AI first thinking, which is not just like, well, how do I do this?